Okay, all the water signs out there that are watching, this is your September reading. Just want to mention really quick, in the description box below is my email and information on my readings and pricing. So if you want to book a personalized reading, go ahead and email me first, and then we'll go from there. And like I said, my PayPal link is down below, but please make contact with me through email first, of course. That makes sense, right? And then I can email you the link to my PayPal that way, and or you can go back to one of the videos and get it that way. So, okay, we're doing it, having a little fun for summertime, and we're doing a pick a card. So from left to right, it's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to wait for about 11 seconds, and you guys pick a number, let a number come to you. Okay, so I don't necessarily go in order of 1, 2, 3, but I'll start with card 1. So all of you who picked card 1, and I've already shuffled, cut the deck. I already looked at the cards because this is a new deck. I'm using the Inner Child deck by Isha and Mark Lerner. Gotta put it sideways or else you can't see it all the way in the shot. So that's why I took a peek at the cards first, because there's such a wealth of knowledge in this book. And I wanted to use it right now for the summer because the colors are so beautiful. So here is, let me turn the light on because I'm not sure. Well, no, it's good. Okay. Then we don't have a glare either, so I like to do it during the day when the lighting's good inside. So whenever the light's on, it's usually because I'm doing it at night. So here's, okay, so in this deck, the cups are called the hearts, or the winged hearts, and that's a symbol. Practitioners of Sufism have used that, or use that symbol. And so the guardian is representative of the king, okay, in most traditional tarot decks. And so we have like the King of Cups right here, the Guardian of Hearts, or Winged Hearts. And this is a feminine depiction of Archangel Gabriel, so they refer to this as Gabrielle. And she's holding the Holy Grail, which has a rainbow and a winged heart and the trumpet. And of course the rainbow wings there. And Archangel Gabriel, it's interesting because the last sign, the last element I did right before this, which was air, got the same card in the same position. So that's interesting. And I shuffled like mad, so, or like happy, whatever. So, let me just, you can go back and watch that if you want to get, I think I read the whole thing, but let me just see what stands out to me this time. Because like I said, there's so much in this book. It's really beautiful. And they reference a lot of angels and different fairy tales. Okay, so this archangel is the revealer of divine mysteries to humanity. So, let's see what else stands out. The name Gabriel actually means hero of God. So Gabriel helps human beings unite their spirits and bodies through heart-centered revelations and insights. And there's a reference to Daniel, the interpreter of dreams, like Daniel in the Bible. And this mighty celestial ambassador came to Mary, saying that her child, Jesus, would be the Messiah who had been long awaited by the Jewish people. In Revelation, it is Gabriel who blows the trumpet of rebirth, asking human beings to rise out of their antipathy, okay, and embrace each other in selfless love and compassion. So he brings glad tidings to the faithful, as well as judgment or mercy to those who have committed sins and evil deeds. Gabriel impregnates the human soul with a vision of divine wisdom, hoping to stir the personality into a life of greater devotion and service. So, and it's about building rainbow bridges of trust and understanding to your friends around the world. And the Holy Grail just represents that universal love between all human beings, all sentient creatures, and the unity between you and God, between people and God, between all of creation and Creator. And the trumpet is also in the Judgment card, and it's the blast of truth, the call to duty. But this is more a call to duty of self, the responsibility that you have to yourself. So Gabriel brings you, or Gabrielle in this case, brings you hints about how to do that, and what it is you need to work on through visions, dreams, synchronicities, signs and symbols, shamanic journeys. So pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions. So when I say feelings, I mean like your sensory feelings, okay, your clairsentience. And because those messages, you know, it's not someone necessarily yelling in your ear. It's coming from within, but from the divine. So you got to get in that stillness and silence and get in that quiet place with self. And for me, mostly the only time I have to do that is when I'm going to sleep at night. And luckily it takes me a long time to unwind and fall asleep, so I get quite a bit of time to meditate and to do this. And what can help with that is setting your intentions before you go to sleep. Before you leave the house to go grocery shopping, before you get out of bed in the morning, set an intention of, you know, you can speak directly to the archangels and ask them as much as you want to please. What I usually do is if I have an intention, I want some clarity on something specific, or I'm just open to receiving what they want to convey to me, I will ask for that. And then I will also ask to please help me be aware of when it presents itself to me, and to help me recognize that that is what it is, so that I can be in a place of receptivity and receive and allow that information to come into me, and to help me process that in a way that I can gain clarity and a greater understanding and a broader perspective of the bigger picture, and what I need to do in order to grow spiritually, be more balanced, more physically healthy, because sometimes it's just literally, they will, you know, that's why I kept getting the Four of Swords in a lot of my personal readings for myself, because sometimes the message is just to rest. So you can always count on the angels to protect you when you're resting. So setting that intention before you go to sleep, like I said, is really important, because for me, I get a lot of very powerful messages in my dreams, because that's when we're the most open and allowing, I believe. So pay attention to your dreams, these insights, these visions that you may think you have. You may feel as if they seem like they're just like out of the blue, they don't make any sense, just let it resonate with you. Don't disrupt the flow by blocking it before you even understand what it is. So remember, Spirit, God, Creator, Source, the angels, all the benevolence that is around you is helping you, trying to help you. What you need to do is to allow that to come in. And if we don't internalize it, what we're doing is we're blocking it, and then we're just blocking ourselves, and we're blocking that goodness from coming into our lives. So I'm going to pick card number 3. So those of you who picked card number 3, here's the 9 of Swords. And don't get worried. So we have a dragon here, and this boy is in a self-created prison of constraints and constructs imposed by his own thoughts and beliefs that may or may not be true, but for him right now, that is his truth. And it's encircled by this dragon here. And in Taoism, what it mentions in the book here, Taoists believe that, in Chinese culture, the dragon is a spirit of benevolence. It's very highly revered for it being a guiding light, or a way shower, if you will. There's a term out there, way shower. So it shows the way. It's a guiding light. It's like Polaris, like the North Star, like a beacon, like the light tower, okay, like the hermit's lantern, okay, it lights the way. And sometimes it's necessary to kind of be in this state of self-imposed restriction, because then when we liberate ourselves from it, that the freedom of that is brought to the forefront. So one by one, these swords can be taken out of the ground and tossed aside once you've processed. So it kind of goes along with the Guardian of Hearts, the King of Cups. We have to internalize this stuff so we can process it. If we keep blocking it, we're going to stay blocked from everything. So one by one, if you process these swords one by one, and you have the protection of the dragon, okay, that's all the benevolence around you, all the good spirits that are helping to guide you and help you and propel you forth on your path and get you closer and closer to your divine purpose. So it's a very necessary process, and it's a very human process. The rational mind, we can get stuck there, but it is important to be there. I mean, we wouldn't have a brain and rationale and all that, if it wasn't given to us by God and had a specific purpose and reason for having it. But we can't stay stuck there. And sometimes when we feel stuck, like this card depicts, it's self-imposed. And I say sometimes, but actually always, even if it feels like it's coming from an outside source, someone's doing something to you. I mean, it's how you respond. Just like if you're making love with someone, it's not the other person that's turning you on or the other person that's satisfied. It's how you're internalizing it and the feeling inside of yourself. You're responding to yourself, okay? So just remember that you have all the benevolence around you. Call on those spirits, call on those angels, call on God, call on Jesus, call on Mother Mary, call on all the benevolence that you can muster up when you're in this 9 of Swords state. And it's almost the 10 of Swords. So one more sword and you'll be at the point where you can start dissolving that now. And in the Ten of Swords, the serpent actually starts eating his own tail. So that's like, it takes care of itself. It's a natural end of things. Natural and spiritual death could be literal death in the Ten of Swords. But when the Nine of Swords is the culmination. So it's like darkest before the dawn, you know, it always, but that's how you know it's almost over, okay? And remember, stagnation or being stuck, natural and spiritual law does not allow for that because it's constantly flowing, okay, just like a river. So even if it's stagnant water, there's stuff going on. There's, you know, little insects laying eggs. There's movement. There's ecosystems. There's things happening. Okay, there's growth. There's evolution. And if you try to stay stuck in something that you refer to as painful or uncomfortable, it's going to get more and more painful and uncomfortable to propel you forward. Okay, so even when we're in pain, you can't stay stuck there. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to feel better. It might start feeling worse, but it's for your own benefit to help propel you out of this sense of feeling stuck. Because, you know, if it doesn't get more and more painful, then we'll just be like, oh, that's fine, I can live with this, I can handle this, I can tolerate this. But the benevolent spirits want the best for you. So when you respond to the messages that you're getting from Source, from Creator, God, Jesus, your angels, your spirit guides, the Ascended Masters, when you respond, you get out of that feeling of being stuck. You know, and sometimes if you respond, you know, it may, a lot of times we get comfortable with a certain level of pain, and we'll say, well, okay, I can tolerate this, I'll just stay here because this is a level that I can tolerate. But what will happen is, like I said, it will get greater, it will start feeling worse and worse, because it's trying to get your attention that you don't need to tolerate any of that pain. You don't need to be complacent with any level of uncomfortability. You know, you have all the power within you to change that by just changing the way you think and your thought patterns. So I actually like the Nine of Swords. I think, you know, the dragon is there to remind us that there's always help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of times we feel stuck because we're afraid to ask for help. We're afraid that, you know, people will look at us like, you know, we can't do for ourselves. But just like the black elk, there is strength in asking for help. Knowing that you can rely on the herd when necessary is what gives you the strength to be independent and provide for yourself. Having a little bit of that safety net will give you the security and the confidence to be independent. And then, sorry, I went off a little bit on that. I just wanted to make sure, because people see the swords and they're like, oh God. Especially like, you know, the 9 or whatever. So those of you who picked card number 2, this is the Child of Crystals. And in this deck it goes Child, Seeker, Guide, Guardian. So that would be the Page, you know, respectively the Page, the Knight, the Queen, and the King. So this would be like the Page of Pentacles. So this is the Child of Earth Crystals. And we have the fairy tale, or the story, I should say, of Huck Finn is depicted in this one. And what they refer to in the book is, just so I don't misquote it, they're talking about how, and I read the book a long time ago, so I don't really remember much, but in the book here it refers to when Huck Finn and Tom Sawyer, they find a bunch of money that some robbers had hidden in a cave. And they turned it into the judge, and the judge rewarded them with $6,000 apiece, all in gold, and the judge allowed them to have $1 a day. So Huck's life is one of wit, trial, and error, and the desire to remain a child at heart. So doing what's right in a very tangible way, and it's, you know, of the earth because it's crystals, it's pentacles. This would be the page of pentacles. Sorry if I didn't mention that. So that would be the page or the knave of pentacles. And it can be a very, it can really correlate to business, intuition, and entrepreneurial ideas. But because it's a knave, it's that very idealistic way of thinking. So it comes from a very pure and honest sensibility. So let's just see if anything pops out. Let your adventurous spirit roam free. Hike through the woods, leave the world of civilization for the great outdoors. Paddle your canoe downstream. Ask yourself some hard questions about your personal freedom. Okay, so that kind of relates to this Nine of Swords, okay, the personal freedom. And how do you get that? You get that by listening to what God and the angels and all the benevolent spirits are trying to assist you with. So, your use of physical gifts with sensitivity and skill, and any fears you may have about being a responsible member of society. So again, ask yourself some hard questions about your personal freedom, your use of physical gifts with sensitivity and skill, and any fears you may have about being a responsible member of society. So, like I said, that idealism of the responsibility of being a part of all of creation. And I just want to, there was something else that stood out here. So in the beginning stages of consciousness, we are introduced to the concepts of abundance, honesty, boundaries, experimentation, and responsibility on the physical plane. How we deal with these attributes has a direct bearing on our maturation beyond the child state of existence. So it starts here. You know, just like many things in life, it starts in childhood. So we need to perhaps take a close look, and it relates so much with the Nine of Swords, okay? We have to take a close look at our belief systems, these mental structures, these thought patterns, patterns of behavior that we've perhaps associated ourselves with all our lives, stemming from childhood, because, you know, we get taught, you know, get a job, go to school, this, that, you know, and all these very practical things. But the pentacles represent the earth, and the earth has a very direct line to the spirit world. It's spirit manifested on the physical plane. So ethics, okay, is very important in business. Having good ethics in the things that you do in the tangible 3D plane is the expression of your spiritual state, your spiritual growth. The level of where you are spiritually will manifest in concordance with that on the physical plane. So it's a direct expression of where you are spiritually. Okay? And it's setting up the structure, like it kind of mentioned there in the book. What we do in life now is going to affect us in the future. So we always have to make sure we're going about it the right way, according to our highest good and the greater good. Okay, because through intention, you're setting up how your life is going to look in the future. So, a couple of water cards for well, this is water. This is water, so that's appropriate. Air had 2 water cards as well, but you know, I think September is going to be a very deep feeling month for us all, and really getting to the core of why we think the way we think. Well, first of all, identifying our thoughts and distinguishing and discerning them from our own and other people's, and you know, this thing of alienable and inalienable qualities. So a lot of these labels that we've associated ourselves with throughout life, even I associate myself as, you know, being a writer or healer, but or a teacher, you know, but what we're born with is what our inalienable qualities are. So if you're born, you know, gay or straight, male or female, or perhaps both, you could be a hermaphroditic, or a man in a woman's body, a woman in a man's body, and a human being, a sentient being. So it's really basic core things that are inalienable, and all other things are these alienable qualities, which means they can be removed from us. Okay, so being an athlete, being a writer, not necessarily being a mother, because even if you lose your child, you're still a mother. So, but that comes later in life. But I guess you can develop that as an inalienable quality, being a parent. So, recognizing what's us, what's not us, and what is inherently us, and what can be taken or stripped from us, so that, you know, if we identify ourselves with these labels, and something, say you identify yourself as an athlete, but you might have a car accident and you're in a wheelchair the rest of your life and you can't do those things anymore, you need to know who you are, so that if things like that happen, you don't get lost and go, I don't know who I am, I don't have any purpose, there's no... Okay, so it's very important to remember at our core who we are. And to love that, okay? And even if it's sloppy, messy, painful, whatever it is, let it come up so that you can feel it, so that you can heal it. You got to feel it to heal it, okay? Yeah, I think that's... Well, I said water, actually, but this is, you have water, earth, and air. I said water, even though this is pentacles. So I said 2 water cards, but I meant 1 water, 1 earth, 1 air. So this is a very balanced reading for the water signs. And that's good, because I have a watery moon, I have a Cancer moon. So, you know, we can tend to get emotional or overwrought. But, you know, process it quickly, come back into center. And so this looks good for you water signs. You may be struggling a little bit with the emotion and thoughts that may be causing certain emotions. It seems really balanced, because, like I said, we have water, earth, and air all in your reading. So it's a very overall balanced feeling for the water signs for September. So that being said, enjoy your September, and all my water signs, I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing the energy in this reading with me, and